no one really knows me. Sometimes I need to get out so that I can really be free. Cause it ain't easy when you live a life where the fans adore you. It doesn't mean that you never need to get away. There's a little place that I find whenever I need to unwind. Dealing with the pressure, living life the way I do. Where they always make it easy, I can just relax and be there. Baby, are you ready? It's a paradise for two. Feeling all around you, and girl, I know the struggle dealing with what they do. Cause it ain't easy when you live a life where they depend on you. I know the feeling, let me take care of you. There's a little place that I find whenever I need to unwind. Dealing with the pressure, and I know you feel it too. Where they always make it easy, I can just relax and be there. Baby, are you ready? It's time for me.
Point on the globe and then let me know. go. I can take you anywhere in the whole wide world. On the Eiffel Tower while love occurs. Is it Belize, Greece, or maybe the islands? Take a deep, long breath and just close your eyelids. Relax and take a seat and just let your mind slip to a place you want to go. All love, no violence. France, Egypt, maybe Japan. No matter where we go, I want to hold your hand. We can hit the beach and put our toes in the sand. Maybe go to San Fran and you're an indie band. Where you going, little mama? I want to take you on a trip. I can be your only genie. You can use one wish. Then we try all the places that you wanted to exist and go around the world on a plane or a ship. And trust me, I know it's like a dream come true, but it's nothing compared to what I would do for you. Just one night, just to show you the world and give you my all, cause I found my dream girl. Adventure is a word that was made for two, and the way I see it, it's just me and you. Cause when we're together, there's nothing we can't do. JK and Jeopardy, now what you gonna do?
Let's get away to another world, just you and me. Let's get away, let's get away to another world, just you and me. Baby, let's get away.
What's up? What is up? Oh, good people. Good people. Welcome in. Welcome in. Yes. Hi, Jonathan here. And today on the Right Way podcast, we've got a special topic for you today. It is one of the biggest topics in book writing nowadays. We're going to talk about why your book isn't selling. Like, what is going on, right? What's going on? Why aren't you selling more books? And I wanted to tackle this one because this is probably the question that I get asked the most. Like, do you help people with marketing? Do you help people sell more books? Do you help me get book reviews? Do you help me get, more readers? How can you help me? I was just talking to somebody about this today and like giving her some ideas on what to do when it comes to book marketing. So first off, I want to say hi, everybody. Can you hear me okay? If you guys are there, type it in the chat. Can you hear me all right? And I'm looking from here to there because I got Instagram and YouTube. I got a couple of cameras here going on. So hello. How's it going, Doug? How you doing? There will be a moment where you can join the live, Doug. So hang on for me. There will be a moment when you can join. But I do want to say, hey, I do see you there. Who is here? Those of you on Facebook or YouTube, go ahead, type in hi. Make sure that you tell me that you can hear me. I just want to make sure everything is good and that you guys can hear me okay. All right, so the name of this podcast is The Right Way. It's presented by iFlow Creative. That is my company. I own the company. And what we do here is we help authors with getting the things that they need to sell more books, to become a better author, to become a better writer, to have fun with their writing career, right? Like everybody wants to have a career in writing, or authors want to hear, or want to have a, I'm sorry, I'm reading chats. Authors want to have a career in writing, and so we help with doing that. How's it going, Dwaylen? Good, awesome, thank you. So you guys can hear and see me all right. Authors want to have a career in writing. Ultimately, that is what they want to do. Is they want to have a career writing books, doing book signings, making movies, maybe, right? Like making movies and video games. And we've done all of those things. We haven't made a movie that's all the way through yet, but we're getting to that point. Like we're in the production process with the movie. So we've done a lot of it. Graphic novels, comics. We've done a lot of it. So we want to give you this information. This isn't stuff you're going to read about online. Mostly, the stuff that you do read are horror stories, things like that. So we want to give you the real stuff and help you understand what to do, what not to do, things like that. You can follow us. You see all the links. They're scrolling on the bottom of the screen. For those of you on Instagram, you already know how to follow us, but share the video with your contacts. Those of you on Instagram, so that more people can follow. You can go ahead and donate, support the podcast, support the speaker or the speakers that we have in here, you can join the broadcast. It's right there in the chat. I want to hear your questions. I want to help you guys personally with the things that you're dealing with. So this is wide open. This is an awesome podcast. I have a lot of fun doing this. I love helping authors, and the comments that I get afterwards, it just really makes things better for me moving forward. So we got a glass of wine. We've got water. We're being responsible, right? It's winter break. It's Christmas. And I wanted to help you guys with understanding what to do and what not to do when it comes to book sales. All right, so let's get into it. Top 3 reasons why your book is not selling and what to do about it. So, reason number 1 is your Amazon listing. Okay, now this is for people who have already published a book. All right, not necessarily new people, not with this topic, because your Amazon listing, it's not going to matter since you haven't published anything yet. So you're not going to have a listing. But your Amazon listing is so key, important to helping you with book sales. Now, what are the important elements on your Amazon listing? This is what your reader typically sees first. They click on your listing, and the first thing that they see is the title, and right underneath it is your reviews. That's where their eye is drawn to first. And Amazon is really good about this because what they're telling you, or what they want you to tell your potential audience, your potential buyers, is that other people have seen and liked this. That there's a reason why it's right below the title, right? Because Amazon knows that people who have had a good experience with a product or a service, or in Amazon's case, it's a product, are more likely to buy, right? So they want that to be the next thing that they see because that's going to encourage purchases. Now, that's the good thing that Amazon does. The bad thing is, if you're just publishing, you don't have many reviews, or you might not have any reviews. So what do? Now, that should be one of the things that you look at, and we'll talk about exactly what to do here in a second. But let me get the rest of these things out here. So the first thing that they see is the title. They see your reviews. They see the cover. Okay? Now, if your cover is done on Canva, or if your cover is not done really well, there wasn't a lot of thought put into it, it looks generic, it's going to turn the reader off. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, you guys, but your readers, you have their attention for this much time. If you don't grab their attention in this much time that you have their attention, they're gone. And that's it. You're not going to get them back. So you really want to make sure that you're taking advantage of the little bit of time that you have with your readers. Does that make sense so far? All right. And then they see your blurb. So let's say you have a great reviews, like you have a great number of reviews, your cover's good, and then they look at your blurb. Does it pass the eye test? Does it make them want to know what's coming next? So in your Amazon listing, you need these 3 things to be good. You need to have your star reviews. If you're just starting out, you need to make sure that you have people ready and willing to buy and read your books immediately as soon as you publish. Okay? And there's a reason for that. There's a reason why Amazon has things listed the way they are. Amazon is really good at making sales. They're really good at making money. They have perfected the money-making system for products. Okay? So when you're publishing on Amazon, use their system. They've perfected the system. You just have to make sure that you don't mess it up on your end. You have control about the title. You have control about the book reviews. You have control about the cover. You have control about the blurb. Okay? So make sure that these things are aligned and engaging, and that you've invested a lot into it, and that you've got people who are looking at it and saying, wow, there's a lot of other people who have liked this book. Let me check it out. If they see that you have a lot of reviews, like a high star review, they'll forgive a typo or two because they're trusting those 40, 50, 100 people who have already read and reviewed your book and are promising a good experience. So they'll give you a little bit more leeway, even if your cover is bad. Like, that's why reviews is first, right? Even if your cover is crappy, if you've got high reviews, that means the product between the covers is good enough to overlook the cover. They will forgive you for that, okay? So that's how you overcome a bad cover. is you have a great product inside. All right, that's a little hack there. And then let's say you do invest in a cover. I'm not saying don't invest in a cover. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you can get away with not having the best cover if you have a great product between the covers. Okay, you still want to invest in the cover. And then your blurb. All right, do you pass the eye test? Do you have great reviews? Do you have a good cover? Do you have an engaging blurb that makes people want to know what's going to happen? Okay, that's number one. Do you pass the eye test? Got it? Does that make sense so far? All right. Any questions? I want to make sure that I'm answering all of you guys' questions as we're going through. All right. Next, reason number 2, your product quality. Now, as I said before, people are more willing to forgive a bad cover if the promises of reviews is high enough to where they can assume that the quality between the covers is going to be good. But before they buy, they're going to click on that look inside feature. Okay, now this is primarily for Amazon Kindle, all right, and self-publishers. Okay, they're going to click on that look inside feature. If that feature, doesn't grab their attention, they're gone. This is how much time you have with them, right? They click on it. Reviews, good. Cover, good. Okay, I'll check out the blurb. All right. And then they click on it. Boom. If anything is out of line in this much time that you have them, they're out. They are out. And you won't get them back, guys. You will not get them back because this is what you're competing against. You're competing against other authors. You're competing against every audiobook that's ever been out there. You're competing against TikTok. You're competing against Instagram. You're competing against Twitter. You're competing against Facebook. And not just that, Snapchat. And then you're competing against everything else that's looking for their attention. So you got Google Plus. You got Hulu Plus. You got ESPN. You got Netflix. You've got Amazon Video. They have a video service now. All of these things are reaching for your reader's attention. So while you have them in this little bit of time that you have them, you want to make sure you keep that attention. Don't let them go anywhere. Okay, because as soon as they find something else to do, that's it. That's it. All right, so you want to make sure that while you have their attention, you grab it, hook it. The narrative hook, that first page, that first paragraph is so important. Okay, so you definitely have to grab them, keep them, hold them in there. And this is where your editors come into play, you guys. This is why it's so important. This is why people are preaching at you so much to get an editor. This is why I tell you, you need a couple of editors. This is why I have an editing staff. This is why I have a ghostwriting staff. It's so important. And this is why, because if you don't invest in your editors and your ghostwriters and things that are going to make your book stand out from all the other books out there, because there's millions of books out there. There's millions of books out there. Why should they pick your book? Right? That's the ultimate question that you have to ask and answer. Why should they pick your book? Why does your book matter? What is it about your book that's going to stand out from the rest? And it's entertaining is not good enough, you guys. It's not good enough. Every book is entertaining. And that, even though that's not necessarily true, you guys have read bad books. I've read bad books. That's what you need to have in your mind. Every book is entertaining. Why should they pick mine? Why does my book matter? And this is where, let's say your book passes the eye test. Let's say they get to the point where they click that look inside feature. Is that going to grab them and make them want to buy the book? Sorry, Instagram, I hit the microphone. They have to want to know what happens next. Right? They have to want to engage. If they don't want to, if it's gone forever, gone forever. Because remember, these guys haven't followed you. Right? They haven't subscribed to your readers list. They haven't done anything like that. So if you lose their attention there, they don't even remember who you are anymore. And as unfortunate as that is, that it's that soon, sorry. That you're competing with so many things. And TikTok's entertaining. I've watched TikTok. It's funny. People are funny. It's more entertaining than half the stuff on television. Like, TikTok is funny. And so, like, you're competing against funny. You're competing against Twitter, which is big news right now. You're competing against Instagram and all those pictures and videos and reels. And there's a reason why these companies are creating these ways to be engaging with the audience, with consumers. There's a reason why. They have understood and mastered what gets people's attention. You have to do the same thing with your books. Okay? Does that make sense? You guys with me so far? All right. So number one is your listing. Are your reviews good? Do you have a good cover? Do you have a great blurb? Is it engaging? Number two is your product quality. And when they click that look inside feature, does it engage them? Does it make them want to keep reading? Are there formatting issues? Right? Like, is it all over the place when they're looking at your book? Okay? Does it make them want to buy? Does it leave them with a cliffhanger so that now they have to click on that? They have to hit that buy button and transfer it into their Kindle right now if they're going to know what happens next. It's got to be that engaging. That is why you need your editor. That is why you need your mentors, your editors, your ghostwriters. This is why it costs so much money for those things, because it's so important. You mess up that, you make $0 because nobody's going to buy it outside of friends and family, and they won't read it. Not all the way through. Okay? And then, is it available in a format that your reader actually wants? Now, what do I mean by that? There are 3 formats available on Amazon that people can use to buy. You got paperback and hardback. I think they have hardback now. You've got the Kindle, and you've got an audiobook. Now, what is today's reader, today's consumer, how are they getting their content? Are they sitting down and reading everything? Some of them, yes. Not a lot. So what's a better option? Audiobook. Now, why do you think that Amazon has an audiobook option available? Why do you think that is? And they've had this for a long time. Go ahead, like in the comments, I want to see. Why do you think Amazon created an audiobook option? Let's see what you guys come up with. So people can listen to it, yes. Okay. Come on, you Facebook people. Yes, so people can listen to it, good one. All right. So this is what happened. Between 2010 and 2015, it became a lot harder to afford living on one job. Most people couldn't do it. So a lot of people had to work 2 and 3 jobs, and especially if they have children, they had to work 2 and 3 jobs, which means they don't have time to sit down and read. So where do they have time that they can devote some level of attention to something that is playing with them? In the car, to and from. When they're sitting down, while they're cleaning up, while they're doing other things. And luckily, they have things like this, your AirPods, these are the pros, love these things, to pop into their ears so that they can listen to it. So Amazon, what they did was they created an audiobook option so that now you can align with their life. They can listen to you on the drive to and from work. They can listen to you while they're at work. They can listen to you while they're cleaning or while their son is playing soccer or whatnot. They can listen to your audiobook while they engage in life. It aligns with their life. versus if you're just depending on them to read, that impinges on their life because now they have to take attention away from whatever else they're doing and devote it to your book. And now, if your book isn't as engaging, now it's a waste of time. Versus if it aligns with their life and it's not engaging, okay, well, at least I didn't miss out on this. I'll listen to it later, or whatever other excuse people say to justify why they didn't read the book without telling you they thought it wasn't good or it wasn't engaging or whatnot. So now with the audiobook option, you have to get their attention because it's put right in front of them now. Like there's no excuse. You can pop your earphones in and just drive and listen to it on the drive. Why can't you do that? Okay, so now they've run out of an excuse. Now you're in their ears, in their head, literally. Now it's your job as the author to make sure that what they're listening to is engaging. Now, what I've done with the company is we've looked at the audiobooks and went, that's kind of boring. One person doing 6 voices, that's not life. So we've created audio dramas that you can upload in audiobook form. And now people are listening to a movie playing back in their head, and it brings the characters to life. Like I used to do it when I was a kid. I listened to my mom when we would have long drives because we lived in the Netherlands because my mom was in the military. And so we got stationed over there, and she had this CD. Back then it was CDs. She had like a whole series of this thing called Adventures in Odyssey. And so, my sister and I would be in the car, and on these long drives between countries, she'd put them in and play them on the way to school, on the way to, our basketball game because we were playing in Germany and France and all that stuff. And she would play them and we would listen, and it would just make the time pass. I remember I loved all the characters. I wanted to know how they got through this, and this. Like I started to connect with those things. If we can, and I felt like if we could do that with you guys as books, we actually bring those characters to life. And now you can see it almost on the movie screen. Like it's just a step in that direction, But that brings the characters to life. It makes it more engaging because instead of you just sitting there and reading it on paper, you hear a character literally bring it off the page, right? So audiobook is a great option. It aligns with your audience's life instead of impinging on their life. They can do it while putting attention on other things that they already have to do. And now it's like you're with them, holding their hand and helping them through whatever they got to do and giving them something entertaining at the same time. So when you publish, if you're not at least looking into, if not an audio drama, an audio book, you're missing so many of your readers. 70% of your readers, 60 to 70%, I'm sorry, would prefer an audiobook to a regular book. Why? Because they're busy. They don't have time to take an hour or two away from their busy life, paying the bills, making sure their kids are in school, making sure the dinner is cooked, making sure this, that, and the other is done, to sit down and read a book. But they can play it in the background while they're doing those things. And plus, let's say they have a family, you're getting your book into multiple ears instead of just one. And now you have multiple fans. If it's engaging, that's the key. Does that make sense, you guys? Does that make sense? You guys understanding? Okay, great. All right. Now, reason number 3. So we've got 1 and 2, your Amazon listing. 2 is your product quality. Now, number 3, let's say you pass all the other tests. Okay, let's say you pass all the other tests, and now you're still running into an issue with people not buying your book. What this means, more likely than not, is that not enough people know that your book is out there, meaning you haven't put enough effort into the marketing and the promotion of your book. Let that sink in for a second. You have to put the effort of money and time into the promotion and the marketing of your book. Okay? Because if not, it doesn't matter how great your reviews are, doesn't matter how great your cover is, doesn't matter how amazing you've made things, that your blurb can just suck them in. And your look inside, that narrative hook can really engage your readers. If nobody knows about it, nobody will buy it. So have you put money and effort into marketing and promotion? Okay. I wanted to say it that way instead of invest because I feel like everybody says invest nowadays and people don't actually know what it means, right? We just throw invest. You got to invest in your business. You got to do this if you're going to make money. You got to do that. So I wanted to actually break it down. It's not just investing. What are you investing? Money and effort, money and time, specific things that you invest. Okay. Now, what do I was talking to a client today. We were talking about marketing, and I asked her a question that I'm going to ask you guys. What does marketing mean? Do you know what marketing means? Instagram? Do you know what marketing means? Facebook, YouTube? If so, put it in the comments. Comment below. What does marketing actually mean? Let's see. Let's see what you guys come up with. What does marketing mean? Actually, we're running short on time, so I'm going to actually define it. Marketing, according to Oxford, the activity or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. Okay, do it again. Marketing is the activity or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. Now, notice what is research, market research, and advertising. You can't market without researching the market. Why is that? Because you have to know what your target audience wants before you create a product. You have to know what your target audience wants before you create the product. Any business, any product. Okay, when I started this company, it started out as an editing company because my target audience at the time needed editing. That's it. That's all we offered at that time, just editing. Okay, and then once my target audience changed and the desires became more, I started adding on more. All right. So what does that mean for you as authors? What do your readers actually want from you, the author? What do they want to see? Do they want a book? Do they want an audiobook? Do they want a movie? Do they want a video game? Do they want a graphic novel? What do they want? If you don't know what they want, how do you know what to create? Right? So really, in the beginning, you should be marketing. That's when you do your market research. That's when you do your market research. Hey, who reads books out here? Like this could be a post on your Facebook. Who reads books out here? Oh, great. I'm thinking of writing a book. I'm thinking of writing it in blank genre. What do you read? How often do you read? Would you rather read or listen to an audiobook or watch a movie? And really understand what it is that your target audience wants. Because now while you're writing, you know in the back of your head, hey, once I'm done with this book, I know where I'm going to go with it. I'm going to create an audiobook, I'm going to create a graphic novel, I'm going to create a whatever. And they're going to buy it because that's what they've told me they wanted. And then at the very least, you're going to have some beginning reviews because people are going to be following you from the very moment now that they know you're an author. All right, so that is marketing. I'm going to say it one more time. Marketing, according to Oxford, is the activity or business of promoting and selling products or services, including market research and advertising. So, what is advertising? What is advertising? And not that one. That's a noun. All right. So advertising. And I want you to listen close because this is important. You can't market if you don't know what marketing is. Advertising. Describe or draw attention to a product, service, or event in a public medium in order to promote sales or attendance. One more time. Advertising, according to Oxford, it's Oxford still, means to describe or draw attention to a product, service, or event in a public medium in order to promote sales or attendance. Public medium. Okay? That is advertising. So how can you use this to your advantage? Now that you know what marketing requires, and now that you know what advertising requires, what does that mean? Does that mean if you throw a bunch of money at this, you're going to make sales? No, it does not mean that, because that's not the definition. The definition is not the amount of money that you put into which will result in sales. It is to describe or draw attention to. So some things you don't have to spend a lot of money on, especially if you're just getting started. You just have to draw attention on a public medium. Now, nowadays, when you're writing, you guys have quite the advantage because you can reach people in Japan without leaving your computer. Because we have the internet and we have multiple public mediums. You can create groups on Goodreads, you can create groups on Facebook, you can create groups on Twitter now, you can create all kinds of things. YouTube podcasts, you can join podcasts from around the world with the technology that we have nowadays. Right? So the public mediums are there. We have such an advantage. And if you self-published, come on. Now you control price that fast? Get out of here. You got everything that you need. You just got to get a little creative with it. Okay? How can you draw attention? How can you describe and draw attention to your product? Good cover. Great reviews. Facebook ads. What do you have to do on your Facebook ads to draw attention? Like, these are the things that you have to think about. These are the things that you have to think about. What can you do to draw attention in a public medium to promote sales or attendance? This is where your market research comes into play, because you need to know what will get people to buy or attend. By attend, I mean like your book signing event. If you're creating a movie, you can do a new release party. Like, I'm going to do that for my next album. I should do that for the book and the album, actually. Like, so what are you going to do to encourage attendance? How do you draw attention? What do they want? What will get them to come? So I want you to think about this, okay? I use Disney as an example a lot because they really do know how to make money. All right, Disney knows how to make some money. They just came out with the new Avatar movie. I started seeing ads for that movie in November, maybe late October. Why do you think that is? The movie wasn't even out yet. And I was watching sports television. Like I like sports. I'm a Niners fan. I'm a Warriors fan. I like the Rays. And I'm watching sports channels. And it wasn't just ESPN. Like, Disney owns ESPN. It wasn't just ESPN. I'm looking at it on Fox. I'm seeing it on YouTube TV. Why do you think that is? Because Disney knows that the people who have watched the first Avatar do X, Y, and Z. They watch sports. They watch other movies like that. They know the demographics of those people. So they made it so that the trailers for these things were put in front of you wherever you watched it, on a public forum, public medium. ESPN is public. Anybody can watch it as long as you pay for cable. Or what I do is my streaming service, YouTube TV. So why is Disney investing? This is before the movie's out. So I want you to think about all the things that Disney had to invest in order to get this movie out there. They had to invest in the production. They had to pay the actors. They had to pay designers. They had to pay writers. They had to pay the whole production team, the media team, the editing team. They had to pay for screen time. They had to pay for studio time. They had to pay somebody to create a trailer. And there's probably things that I don't even know about behind the scenes that they had to pay for. Millions of dollars invested in this. Why? And then they invested millions getting it in front of you on the TV. Or at least hundreds of thousands. That costs a lot of money. Why would they do that for months before it's even out? Why would they put little teaser trailers out there for months before it was even out? Because they know if they put it in front of you enough times, you will remember. Especially the closer that we get to release, you start seeing more and more and more trailers because they've teased you with it. The first one was great. A lot of people loved it. I don't know why it didn't win the award, but we're here now. A lot of people loved it. It was great, fantastic. And now we have another one. And they put it in front of you a lot. And I'm pretty sure it became the number one over the weekend. It made more than, I can't remember exactly which movie it made more than that I saw. But it made more than some other movies. They invested millions of dollars and made so much money back. But they put that stuff out there for a reason. They know their demographics will respond if they do that. They've done the market research necessary to make millions of dollars on these movies. Millions of dollars. Disney's great at this. You have to do the same thing just with your readers, with your target audience. What is going to get them to respond? Okay, how are they going to learn about your books? What way do they want to view your books? What way are they going to read, consume it? Got to start thinking about these things. Okay? And if you don't put the effort into marketing and promotion, what do you expect? Okay? And that's the one that we didn't define. Let's define promotion. All right. So again, according to Oxford, promotion, activity that supports or provides active encouragement for the furtherance of a cause, venture, or aim. It is not interested in sales. Let that sink in. Let that sink in. Promotion, activity that supports or provides active encouragement for the furtherance of a cause, venture, or aim. It is not interested in sales. Advertising is interested in sales. Okay? So that's what they were doing the beginning of this avatar. And then, there is a second definition of promote right here. The publicization, I had to think about that for a second. Publicization of a product, organization, or venture so as to increase sales or public awareness. That definition does concern itself with sales. But listen close. The publicization of a product, organization, or venture so as to increase sales or public awareness. In other words, the publicization, you have to make it known. You have to make it public. That means beyond your little circle, beyond your little sphere. You have to make it public. The more public you make it, the more interesting it is, the better it passes the eye test, the more people that know about it, the better the product is, the more sales you're going to make. One more time. The publicization of a product, organization, or venture so as to increase sales or public awareness. All right? And that's number 3, you guys. Not enough people know about it. It's not public enough. Okay, so number one is your Amazon listing. How many reviews do you have? Is your cover good and engaging and draws the eye and high quality? Does your blurb encourage people to read? Number two, the product quality. Does the look inside feature engage the reader and make them want to know what happens next? Are there formatting issues? Is it all over the place? Okay, does it make the reader want to know? Oh crap, I got to get this. I need to know what happens next. And is it available in a format that your reader wants? This is where marketing comes into play. Do your market research. Learn what your reader wants. It's best to do it before you publish. That way you're not making mistakes. Okay, make sure you have a Kindle, make sure you have an audiobook, paperback, whichever method or medium your readers want. You have to do some surveys. That's how you publish. And then reason number three, it's not public enough. You have to make it public. You have to make sure that a lot of people know about it. It's 1, 2, and 3. 3 reasons your book isn't selling. All right, so let's say you need help. Let's say you don't really know what to do with your book listing. This is where your editors, the people that you hire, your mentors, this is where they come into play, because they're going to be able to guide you on this and help you with making your book better. All right? So make sure that you hire people who know what they're doing, or at least they're a level above where you are and where you can reach. Like if you've never done an interview for a podcast and you'd like to, you have to make sure that the people that you hire can get you on a podcast, right? All right. So hopefully this helps you guys. 3 reasons your book isn't selling. We really want to make sure that you get the things that you need to help you out with making more sales, getting more reviews, getting more readers, advancing your career. Like that's what this is all about, right? I'm Jonathan. Thank you guys so much for joining me this evening. I wanted to do it at a time when my Australian clients can take a look. So they're 12 hours ahead of me here in Florida. So I wanted to make sure that we get one at a time where they can do it. I'm going to cut this up and you guys can watch this over and over again. Thank you so much. We will see you next time. Take care.